perfect. That's what I want. I would like to service the trailer brake system right after. Okay, well, this is a great setup. So we are on the way to Thunderhill Raceway. Something really fun planned. We're going to do some shooting with Sonya Klaus, Sonya Slides. I saw her last year at Gridlife, and she was doing some follow cam stuff with Justin Pollock in the Falcon car, and I really wanted to do some car-to-car shooting with the S14. I did a little bit with Larry, but there's a couple of ideas that I've had from working in commercials that I haven't seen in this space, where usually it's just one person with a camera on their car trying to get shots by chasing, and there rarely is any like mounting of the camera on the back of the car or like using a monitor, and that's something we do all the time in film for like car chases or for commercials. And so I called Sonya and I was like, hey, do you want to shoot some stuff like this? I can give you some of the like knowledge that I've gained from years of doing this, and we can get some cool footage together. So that's what we're doing. My trailer brake controller just failed, which is cool because I'm towing a 34-foot trailer that probably weighs 18,000 pounds. Sonya called me an hour ago and was like, don't panic, but my car won't start. It turns out that something wrong with her timing belt. She doesn't have time to fix it. Luckily, Cena, who is running this event, who is just totally saving our butts, is letting her drive his E36 that he has. So that'll be her first time driving that car while we are also doing all of this footage. So we're probably going to pivot a little bit in our plans, shot order and all of that, but yeah, basically that is what we're doing. Right this second, I am driving to the tire store to pick up a brand new set of Conseils for this season, some new Zestinos that are mounted on them, and then we're going to have a big meeting at the hotel and talk through what we're planning all weekend.
Oh yeah, so, because we're not being filmed at all. So, what are we going to do today, Sonya?
Oh my god, I think we're going to drive. So we're doing some car-to-car. You're teaching me the ropes, which I'm very excited about.
Doing my best, yeah.
I'm very excited about. So far I have done grip. In terms of driving, just like really done some grip. Some drift, nothing on the competition side or anything like that. I would say my expertise is more on the grip side. And then did some car-to-car, chase car camera stuff at Falcon. And now this is my first time out doing it outside of Falcon. Learning a little bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, that's literally why I asked you, because I saw you doing it with Falcon, and I was like, oh, rad. So anyway, we're going to get some sweet content today, some cool car-to-car footage, drift car, borrowed replacement drift car.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to be swell. Everything's going exactly according to plan, and no one is stressed. I mean, you've heard of pack out. But let me present to you snack out. Come on, how thrilling is this? Also, more snacks.
So I'm here today at Thunderhill with Z. We're doing camera chase car stuff. She had actually contacted me, saw that I was doing some camera chase stuff with Falcon at Laguna, and was like, hey, I think it would be really cool if we did this together. So I said, let's do it. Both our schedules are super packed, so we had to figure out a date, and we're here at Thunderhill. I've actually never driven Thunderhill, and also we had a little bit of a hang up. The Z that I was going to bring out didn't make it, so I had to last minute end up getting just another car. I'm in an E46 right now, and I have never driven this car, let alone I have never even driven an E46. So new track, new car. I've never worked with Z before, so there's a lot of variables, a lot of new things today. So I just grabbed fuel for the car because of course it didn't have any. So right now we're heading back to the pits. We're gonna get set up. We got to get registered still, and then we're gonna go to driver's meeting. I am extremely excited. There's a lot of nerves going on, but it's excitement. You know, I don't really have much experience doing camera chase car stuff. That's new. In terms of driving, like I've been driving for a few years and grip is my forte. But camera chase car stuff, stunt stuff, all that stuff is really new to me. I've done a little bit of precision stuff with a commercial with like Toyota and a couple other things, but not really. So I'm really excited to learn stuff from Z and just this new environment and everything that's going on.
important part that everyone overlooks of driving a race car is that like shit comes loose all the time, and I'm a little bit neurotic about it, and people think I'm crazy. But even if we just nut and bolted the car, she's just double checking that nothing's loose, nothing's changed, because it's really bad to like end up with loose shit on the track. I once, many years ago, when I didn't nut and bolt my car, actually lost the whole front corner. I was doing Back to the Future in one of my cars, so I'm a bit of a stickler for it, but it, in theory, saves you from a much bigger headache.
So right now we're just kind of getting everything prepped. Since I haven't actually driven this car before, I was hoping to get like a sight lap or two before we go out in the drift session, just because of how filming goes. So I'm trying to hurry up and just get, you know, whatever last minute camera stuff that I can get put together. That way, every single session we go out, we're pretty much just learning, like, okay, does this camera setup work, does this not, and whatnot.
That was a lot. That one corner is icy. Like I kept
Yeah.
thinking, like, oh no,
You're fine.
Like, I have grip everywhere else, but that one corner is like either marbles or oil or something. And I'm a little like I'm nervous about the car too. Like I hear sounds or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot happening for both of us. How was your first drive in that car?
It's manageable. The car's manageable. It's fine. It was mostly learning the track, learning, you know, where you're at, and then figuring out. I can't hear the RPMs for shift, so I'm just looking at light. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go, and so it was just that, and then braking. I'm like, I have a fine line of braking, so I'm taking it to the level like when I'm trying to get as close to you as I can, but see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, we can also, like, how did you feel about framing? Did you figure out how close you want to be without lens?
I have somewhat of an idea, but to be honest, I think it was a lot for me to like watch track, but like make sure watch your line, and then I would look every so often. But when we're like
it's a lot.
mid corner, I'm not like looking.
Yeah.
So I'll look up right before, like I'll look down at the monitor right before, and then I'll be like, okay, like, it's good. And then I'll just go into the turn and just be prepared in case you're like gonna have to bail out. But so that's something I definitely have to learn, because also when I was doing it last time with Falcon, I had I had a phone. Yeah. But
you can't.
Every
it's
so
not really
often.
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I would suggest if we have the time is we can actually line the cars up when they're static, and you can take a mark off your hood on my car for the framing that you like. That way you'll actually know it when we're on the track, right? You'll be like, oh right, this is how that frame looks, give or take a couple inches, what it looks like. I usually have a couple reference points, so like if I'm driving the camera, I have a couple reference points on that vehicle, and then I know if my bumper or whatever edge I have, if I line that up, that's my actual mark, and I know I can kind of breathe around that and have a good frame. Okay. Cool. So when we're good, we can do that. Yeah. It's just super helpful, right? To like use your off-track time to figure that stuff out.
That that back straight, or like, you know, coming out of the first couple corners, like I'm as much as I can. I'm like,
I'll try to just wait for you there. But there's one section that one time I was like really ripping it, and I was like, oh, I'm like losing her sideways.
Yeah. I was like, as you're starting to get familiar with the track and the car, I do have a feeling that that's going to be a little bit of the issue, but that's fine. I just have to figure out, like, I just have to be on it before you're...
Yeah, once you know the track too, you'll know where you can push it, because I'm going to run away from you. But also it's kind of cool if you start really close and I'm like, you know, like shrinking in frames, pulling away. And that's also going to be kind of fun and interesting when you're leading.
Yeah.
I'll be running in a different gear probably.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So when I'm leading, am I just running my typical...
So basically, you're kind of running the best line to capture what I'm shooting. So I would usually, like, either we put it center or we prioritize one corner, but then you would basically run kind of inside of wherever I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
And then I would play to you.
I will
basically.
say I think that's gonna be probably an interesting challenge for
Yeah.
me to figure out what's going
Like,
to how to put the car to frame it behind
you
me,
basically
so.
need to leave me enough space that I
Yeah.
can run a line. So you're almost running an inside line all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I can go around you or like pass through frame. So I'm just checking to make sure like nothing was binding. You know, the steering wheel felt a certain way, so I'm just making sure, nothing was binding, nothing's got come loose, nothing's leaking. That's why everything's paint marked, so I can check it quickly.
Gotcha.
If it's a really essential point, then I usually throw a wrench on it, but at least just a quick look to see if anything's moved, and I actually just found something that has moved.
What moved so far?
Just the lock nut for the coilover. Pretty typical that some stuff comes loose.
Kind of where we're at right now.
And we had a gimbal situation.
Oh my god. Okay, so okay, not throwing shade at anyone, but Nikki.
Wow.
No. So at some point, I was looking down and just to see, like, get a visual of where the camera was, and the camera, your car's over here, and the camera's pointing that way, and I'm like, there's a disconnect here. So I like radio in really quick and was like, yeah, Nikki, the camera's not working. I like didn't even know how to say it, right? I was like, the camera's not working. It's like pointed the other way. So gimbal was doing gimbal and camera things, but I did see drone was coming in nice and deep. So I was like, okay, cool, we got that footage, so that's good. But yeah, I'm that was very interesting. Yeah, it's super interesting to do this. One, like, I don't have a whole lot of experience doing it, but I've already felt more comfortable in my Z.
Yeah.
And then to move to another vehicle where I don't know the limits of that vehicle quite yet, where I figured it out with braking, and then not having the power, so I had to utilize like me being on throttle quicker and figuring out the throttle response on this car.
Yeah.
It's just not as snappy. So it's like it's very interesting.
And
so,
this is like very much what you get thrown into on set.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
can
here's this random car, and no, we don't know how it drives, and no, you can't really practice, so just go do it.
And that's why I'm not so much, I'm like, well, it is what it is. I can't keep being like, oh my god, I really wish the Z was here. It's like, no, I don't get that on set. Like, so I really appreciate like the situation. I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't have the Z, because it kind of threw me into this position to have to learn something and to adapt. And I feel like that just kind of helps out, right, in this
100%.
situation. So.
And then you did come and ask me some questions before.
So all right, so one of the situations that's happening right now is that I'm in a stock seat, completely stock, and the issue with that is there's no bolstering like in a race seat, and so it's not holding me in. So I'm sliding kind of all over the place, and with driving and things like that, I don't have time or the capacity to brace myself constantly when doing that. Plus, it's really hurting my back doing that. So one of the questions I had, so what we did so far is we found the floor mat in the back of this E46, and we turned it upside down so the grippy part is like facing me, so it actually grips up on my suit, and it does actually work the tiniest bit. We like gaff taped it, but I'm still like I have so much movement, and it's just not good. So like, what do you do?
I have some furniture blankets in there. Usually, like, often it's me with I just jam my coat somewhere, but we'll like roll up some blankets into what's called a jelly roll. And we'll like stuff them on either side of you and try to just prevent as much movement as possible. So I think we can do that the next time and hopefully prevent the shifting.
Let's 100% try that the next time, because it's just that movement in my back and stuff. It's like, it's, you know, and you don't realize like when you have your body's going through that and you're driving and all that, it's taxing your body.
It's a lot. When we have the camera on the back, you mostly need to hold the speed. Right, you just need to be predictable. That way I can come in and out, like, and you don't brake hard suddenly.
So my only other thing with that is, so the only line I know to drive would be more of a grip line. Is that what I drive?
So if we're thinking about the shots, probably I'll be drifting past you. So for an ideal world for me in drifting, it's easier for me, especially when I'm behind you, to go around the outside. So it's best for me if you stay inside.
Okay.
Like basically take an inside line everywhere that you can, and then I'll try to play to you. When we work together a lot with the same people, you kind of learn like an unspoken dialogue. Like if I pull over and slow down, it's for you to pass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
cool.
I mean, you can point me past, but hopefully we'll be able to hear each other on the radio, and you can say, okay, like come through on this one. Or same thing, if I see you slowing down and the best shot is going to be a wipe, I'll come through.
Okay. I was just, and then I'm assuming just anytime you end up passing me through,
I'll reset.
You're just reset.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll do my best to like calm my horses on.
I'll wait, and then I'll reset when I see that you're okay. Yeah, and then through the S's, like how we go through the S's, I think same thing. I'll be going through like the way I can go, like as much as I can, right?
Yeah.
So the first couple laps will have a sight lap.
Yeah.
Or sight lap 2, whatever it is, and then maybe just I'll signal to you. I'll let you know too. Hey, I think we're good to go. Let's go up.
Yeah.
Let's go up, whatever percentage, or we're good. Let's go up higher, and then we'll go from there. Cool.
So hopefully, as we grid up, when we're on the radio, you can basically say to me, "Hey Z, like this is a good distance."
Okay.
You know, then I'll know to kind of place the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
now you get to tell me what to do.
I'm very interested in this one because this is definitely something. This part I've never done. I've never had a drift driver like behind me when I've been doing this. So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. when it was fine,
Yeah.
and then it just whipped it, and I was like,
I saw you spinning, yeah.
There's nothing I can do right now, but it was because I was trying to push it there because
Yeah.
I know like you're fast through that
Yeah.
corner, and I'm holding it tight, and the car is just it was fine.
It's all right.
It's nice. At least the dirt's nice instead of like.
Yeah, off track not bad.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
so nice.
So I feel like it would behoove us to do a little inspection, make sure everything's all good.
Yeah.
I would, there's no way we didn't get some awesome shit.
Oh yeah.
Especially when fucking Chow cut in front of you and Lexi was behind.
Yeah.
And I was like, what decision do I make right now?
Yeah, I know. I didn't, honestly, it was just that I dug into some dirt, but like everything else felt fine.
Well, yeah, I'm curious to see.
I think
The car got so hot and I used 80% of the gas in that amount of time. I'm at 22. So I'm not usually, I can't see the dash with polarized sunglasses. I can only see
I don't know
the
how
light.
you can do. I wouldn't just.
It was
Finally, like a really full session.
Yeah. No, that was so good. Although I was definitely like,
I was like looking. I know.
it's good.
I was looking every so often, and I was
I mean,
like,
it's hard. You're,
and then I kept like coming up on people. Because like, fuck, like we need a. It would have been nice to get a clean, like just a clean lap
Yeah.
because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we could have gone faster because there was more
you're
in the
faster
car.
than I thought. Like,
Oh, there was so. I was.
like honestly, and I think it's because you're like a turn behind, right? Like in sections where like I'm slowing down where you're speeding up, so it sort of creates this like exactly what it created for you. Where it's like,
Exactly.
oh shit, like I gotta really work for this, and then I gotta think, am I going too fast for the corner? You know?
Well, and then the funny thing is because when we come into that corner, you wanted me to stay,
Yeah.
and that's not typical.
Yeah.
So I'm like.
The car doesn't want it either.
No, so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, trying to play, and then that was when it just the whip.
No, it's a good thing we found the whip when there was space.
So one of the things that so I would see you coming up on my bumper, and I'm like trying to I was trying to anticipate those spots, so I would try to get on throttle quicker, but the throttle response was just not there, right? And so I tried my hardest to get as fast as I could around that, but like
I mean, and honestly, you were, and then that's the thing that like I wish we had a few more sessions, because I would have said stick with it, you know. In those moments, like there's this sensation, this kind of just develops over time, where you can feel the other driver pushing you,
I
and then
felt
you just widen, right? You just widen a little bit, but you need more. You need to be able to see that and go, okay, like I know that's the limit, and I'm gonna just give a little bit more speed. As long as you're predictable, I can play to you.
I think
and if I get too close, I can slow down.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I was feeling your pressure, like just the tiniest beat too late. I don't know. You can tell me
Yeah.
too, because I wouldn't until I was through that turn, and then I'm like, oh, where's she at? Where's she at? And then I'm like, oh shit, she's pushing. So I was trying, but I was already too late. Like I needed to have, when I had felt it a little bit earlier, then I would have pushed through and then just trusted it. So
And I mean, often the way that we would drive something like this is like you'd hold a speed, and I'd drive to that speed, right? Like you would be basically a static object that's moving, and then all the adjustments would come from only one side. Like, hard to do here, right? In a situation where we don't have total comms on each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is like the big piece, and that just comes from like working together. So I actually really hope we do more of this, because
I honestly,
I think we could do some cool shit.
I kind of do too, and
Yeah.
I'm like, because I was just starting to like get it and feel it
Yeah.
towards the end, and I'm like, damn it, like,
But
you know,
it's so different when you're leading, right? Like, and it's actually like, it isn't no work. It's actually a lot of work, because you now have to look in two directions at the same time, you know, and the track, and watch for guys going off track, and the flags, and like,
Yep.
it's like being a helicopter pilot, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Oh.
don't look at it.
just put
It
it in
brings
front
it
of our
alive.
faces, and then you want us to talk like this? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was. Do you have notes?
I mean,
I feel like there's
only like that one corner. I was like, man, I just wish she waited longer there for me. Just the
Wait.
hairpin before the straight.
Oh,
like,
shit.
like, but I just didn't like. We didn't have the time for me to be like, honestly, stay on the brakes there,
Ah.
because I was like slamming, like,
You know what's funny? I kind of felt it,
yeah.
but I'm like, I'm going so. I thought I was going so
Yeah.
slow.
But I'd have to like, I'm going even slower, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm spinning,
Okay.
like I have to slow down for those. Like slow turns are slow,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
slowing down after you're slowing down.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
I felt it too. I
But then-
freaking felt it. And I was like, but I'm going so slow through this
Yeah.
turn. It's just different because my slow through
Yeah.
that turn, doing a grip line, it's way too slow. But I have to shift my train of thought. You're not doing a grip line for
No.
this time attack stuff. You're there's a purpose for this, and
Yeah.
it's for the filming purposes and the timing purposes and stuff. I definitely want to do more. I feel like this was a big learning curve for me, and I love it. Because it adds this element to driving that I
Yeah.
never had before, and I never have to really deal with.
It's almost like tandem and drifting.
I bet.
Almost,
Okay.
right?
Almost, yeah.
Like a little bit of a different purpose. And I think that honestly, one of my biggest failures as a drifter, and the obstacles that I've had, is that I'm not allowed to break shit at work.
Yeah.
I never drive past my limits, right? So I'm like a super predictable, super safe driver, and I just, all of my work, all of this training originally was just to make my 100% so far past what was ever needed that I could do my job and always be in a safe range, but have it like really scare people.
Yeah.
You know, but then you get to drifting, and it's like, oh, well, I haven't hit nearly enough people, right? Like what feels close isn't,
Actually, yeah.
yeah, you know, and that's like the parking the cars stationary and stuff like that. I mean, if we have time, we should like play with cars later,
Yeah.
because Fantasia bought some Hot Wheels for us.
Or like the
Yeah.
closeness and the depth,
Yeah.
because it's difficult to get that, especially when, I don't know, like, so when I'm doing wheel to wheel stuff, and like, you know, we'll rub, we'll do whatever, it's fine. Like
Yeah.
we're both like, we understand.
Mm-hmm.
But in this sense, I almost feel like, because there's two different things happening so much, that like I'm a little more nervous to
Yeah.
get on the proximity
Well,
side.
and you don't want to damage somebody else's
And it's not my
equipment.
car.
Yeah, like,
Because like with
and-
the Z, I was diving into
Yeah.
JTP. It's my car, and I also understand, and I also know how far my bumper is. I know this, I know that, and it's like, there's in the back of my mind, if I'm driving somebody else's vehicle, like even with that, right?
yeah,
I at least I felt it, like I knew when I went off, because I've gone off many a time. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like we're good. But still, even with GoPros, I'm like, okay, I don't want the GoPro to give out
Yeah.
and like hit the car. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's not my car. So,
Yeah.
but to some extent, that has to go out the window to some extent when you're driving. To some extent,
yeah. It's a balance,
It's a-
right? But like on set, there's the really like,
yeah,
especially with commercials. Usually they're like, oh, we only brought one car. We want you
yeah,
to
that's
like
it.
do this stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, you're gonna do this slide into the parking spot on day one. That's a
The
choice.
level of
Like-
stress, I can,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
But yeah, big. I may or may not use this part. We use left foot braking all the time.
Yeah.
Or if you can't see the brake lights, because car commercials sometimes will, if you have the e-brake,
You just hit it.
no, you drag it. Just like
Oh.
use it, drag the brake like a left foot brake. Did the same thing again.
Dude,
For
that
me,
was-
that was for me. I think, in spite of the rain and the immediate like
Yeah.
people left and right. What was different for you about not being able to see?
So, okay, so now the camera setup is in the rear, and that's definitely different because I'm in the front. So I'm not just following a line, I'm having to lead the line, but also change it to make sure that it's the most beneficial for you.
Yeah.
Not having a monitor in the car this time around was not you. If you're going to be running behind me, I have to have a monitor because there's going to be portions of you like when you're behind me, I lose all visual. I have no idea where you are, and so proximity wise, I have no idea. Like, and if I'm about to brake or whatever, like I don't know to get out of your way if I can't see you.
100%.
So that was definitely interesting. It was fun because I got to do a little bit of a grip line, but like more of a grip line, but it was a little nerve-wracking. It was a little.
Yeah, I mean, the first session felt really good. I know that we lost the camera at one point. We had the other incident.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the kind of footage you can achieve with leading, but like how active you can be in the car to frame a shot when you have a monitor. I mean, this is like so extreme. It's so rare that someone would be doing this kind of a setup for like a commercial.
Okay.
Like you'd have a second person operating ahead generally, right?
Okay.
But this is for sure faster, right? And you'll get those little pieces. But it would definitely like, I mean, not, especially with other people on the track, I think was the big part. Like the other people on the track and you having to drive that, like something I loved is that you were calling all the flags.
Yeah.
Because I was staring at you.
Exactly.
Right?
So, I was sorry. I was just going to say, so that was the difference between when I was following you. I'm watching you intently because I need to see what your front wheel is doing and what you're doing at all time. Which normally my eyes would be a little bit more up, looking like further ahead, which I was also trying to do, but it's so difficult to do, to look straight up, to look through the next turn, to see what you're doing, to look at the flag station, but to also look at my monitor. I mean, man, it's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, it's definitely like way more than full-time job. Like just,
I totally see why there's a secondary person in the car. Doing it on your own, I feel like you have to have a level of experience in driving, and also have an eye, I guess, in like in doing the videography stuff, because like I have more experience in driving than I do on the video stuff, right? I have a little bit of video experience, but not crazy. But it makes it a little difficult.
Yeah, like you have to like understanding what shots. It's just going to take time. You know, oh, it's going to look like this if we point the camera. Like I would almost have chosen to put the camera on one corner of the car. To kind of allow to play to it a little bit more. It's tough because the track goes both ways, right? Like, and I don't know how much you saw. Like, I would try to work with camera as much as I could, knowing that like you had limited options. And you notice in both directions that communication is so big, right?
100%.
Like, the trust is there, the communication. Like, a big thing is, I mean, it's hard in this car with where my radio is and everything else. So like, I am turning the wheel too much to like put the steering, the button on the steering wheel. But, you know, generally speaking, whoever is the lead car is calling that stuff. Like, because you'll be like this, like really nose to tail, and then it's just like you call out when you're stopping, because otherwise you just get a pileup. Especially if I have like, it's kind of like a train of cars, you know, in drifting, but it's the same thing. Like everyone's reaction time stinks. It's really hard to be the fifth car in line.
Okay.
And respond in that way.
No, exactly. And so that's why I was like trying to call it out as quick as I possibly could. While also driving, right? So I'm like trying to press buttons and trying to talk, but I knew that was for my benefit, so I don't get rammed in the back, but also for yours. So I was like,
No, and there's definitely like, I almost wish we had more time, because it, like there's a couple places where I would have been like, slow down, so that I can dive into it more. You know, like now that I see what your line is, and this is not that slow. Like, not that I'm a grip driver.
You know what's funny is this. So this is definitely considerably slower than the Z. So I was like really disappointed, because I'm like, damn, I really wonder what the Z could have done.
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's not a slow car. And I was trying to wheel it. I had to wheel it as much as possible to get it over things, but it's actually it was pretty fun. So yeah. Did you?
I had a good time, you know.
I had such a good time. I had such a good time.
It's, for me, it's like that element of like, I'm thinking at a different level. Like when we put the camera on the back, like now I'm working my ass off. I'm sweating so much more. Like I was just so active and having to like go, okay, like I want to dive in, but is she moving? Okay, and like trying to like frame the shot and everything. But this is for me, like I love drifting. I love combining these worlds.
No,
so, like, I'm so good.
I see that. I want to do. I definitely want to do more of this. I think it's just so much fun. But it's funny because there is such a learning curve in the beginning. You've never driven with a driver, and then at a track for the first time, and then also a car for that I'm not familiar with. And you were having the same thing where you weren't really familiar. You had to figure it out in the morning. But once you got familiar, I was like, shit, she's gonna pull away so fast. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. I think we got some super cool footage.
Yeah.
I wish we had us watching it, but you know, yeah, stoked.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I want to do more.
Yeah, good.
I want to do more.
We will.
Thank you so much.
Hey, dude, I'm so glad. And yeah, if you have any other questions,
I mean, I do, but I don't know if we're gonna have that for the public. It's gonna be a private conversation.
private questions. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for watching. If we put this in the end of the video.